What's up, my rocket friends? Today we have an unboxing and review to do today of the new Estes AstroCam rocket here in its individual solo form, being as this came out in 2020 as a launch starter set. Came with the launch pad, controller, motors, all those types of things, and recently became available as an individual unit. Which piqued my interest. When I was a little kid, I wanted one of the original AstroCams. I think they came out, correct me if I'm wrong, but back in 1979 with that 110 film camera where you take a couple of HD images, HD meaning highly distorted back then, and then you go get developed at your local drugstore or whatnot. But so it's kind of cool that they brought this back in a updated, more modern form. And so I figured we'd grab one and check it out, give it a try. And this time, a digital video camera instead of the vintage form of developing film itself. So it should be pretty neat. These things are priced pretty well, I believe. I'd like to see them come out with some maybe different nose cone sizes where they can adapt their camera, whatever it is that they're using here. We'll take a look into other models and so forth. So yeah, it's another thing that's kind of cool. I like that they're doing boxes now. This thing's light as all can be, but helps from getting stuff crushed as opposed to the bags. But so kudos to Estes. So here they're saying that you can hit 900 feet. It takes on a C65. They're recommending an A3, B44, B64. On the front of the box here, they're showing onboard video camera. It's like riding along with the rocket from liftoff to landing. Kind of funny. It's a beginner model. Supposedly, you don't need any glue or anything to assemble this. We'll see, because we will build this in this video as well. 20 inches tall, 0.98 inches in diameter, which is Estes BT50, body tube, parachute recovery, etc. So pretty straightforward here. Typical Estes flight profile graphics here. So let's crack this open. We'll build it, and I'll talk about my thoughts, and we'll fly it and see how good this camera is. I wouldn't expect a lot GoPro on here. This is a $30 to $50 kit depending on where you get it. So yeah, don't expect GoPro footage. I'm not. So let's take a look at this thing. I haven't opened this guy yet. I don't know what to expect, but we will see what this guy is all about. Oh. Okay, it's one bag. Okay, we'll switch from an unboxing to an unbagging. So it looks like there's one bag of parts. Not a lot to it. Again, this thing's light. I'm really blown away on the weight of this thing, which I guess is a good thing. So let's go ahead and get this thing cracked open here. I like using my X-Acto blades to cut the bags personally. So yeah, here's the BT50 tube. Ooh, it's thin. It's kind of nice. It's like a pearly white. It's like not quite white, but not quite pearl. Kind of cool color. Okay. Looks like obviously here is the nose cone setup. There's a 18mm engine retainer, which is kind of cool, and I guess the plastic fin can assembly. Okay. And here is the camera itself. It looks like, and I'm just curious and impatient right now. I want to see what this thing's all about. Okay. There she is. Let my autofocus try to do its thing. It's tiny. Yeah, I like the USB plug. The lens on that thing is, sensor can't be very big, so we'll see how that looks. Okay, cool. Nice. There's the camera and a set of instructions with it, looks like. Takes a 16 gig memory card. I wonder if it's actually included. Ooh, it does include a memory card and a micro SD card. So that's kind of cool. It's not one of those things where you get all your parts home and then you have to go buy more stuff. So that's kind of neat. It comes with a 16 megabyte card already. Tons of capacity. Joking. Some instructions on how to operate the camera. Kind of looks like pretty basic. Okay. Next bag, looks like we have some fins, parachutes, these little tiny rubber bands. Looks like this camera is rubber banded onto the nose cone per the picture on the front of the box. Let's go ahead and open this up and take a look. Three fins. It's 2 red fins, 1 black fin. Nice little bit of contrast. Shot cord. I'm sure this looks like the line that might run at the top of the nose cone, so the camera is always pointing down during descent. Okay, looks like it uses a standard, I think the purple is an 18-inch, I believe. I'll verify that. I believe that's the case. A lot of extra rubber bands, so if you lose one, don't worry, you have 800 that the kit came with. Typical Estes instructions. This looks like the pretty easy format. They're requiring, again, no adhesives, no tools, no anything. Apparently this thing just all snaps and clips together, hence being a beginner level kit as they reference on the box. And last but not least, an AstroCam sticker to top it all off. Cool. So I think from here, what I'm going to do is I'll set the camera up and I'll do a time lapse, a build of this. Apparently it should go pretty fast, and if there's no glue required, I'd probably want to use like a plastic cement or some sort for this, but I'll do it as Estes recommends. We'll do a quick build on this, and then I will give you guys my thoughts. So let's cut over to time lapse. Alright guys, there you have it. Wow, that was like literally the easiest thing to build on the planet. I'd say if you're proficient in opening a box of cereal all by yourself, you'll be able to build this kit. Legitimately, it's just pressing these 2 fin can halves together. These fins just slide right in, they kind of lock into place. The screw retainer helps hold the 2 fin can halves together, and the whole assembly then just kind of snaps into the body tube itself with these 2 kind of snaps, I guess you'd call them. There's a part of the instruction manual that says we do recommend an optional wrap of clear tape around here. I guess that helps just a little bit of reinforcement for lots of flights. Tie a couple knots to secure this leader string here, and the intent with this is once the ejection runs and the parachute's open, this continues looking downwards during its descent. So I kid you not, this is like the simplest thing on the planet to build. I think it was 9 minutes total from when I started that time lapse to this portion right here. So from here, it's literally just stuffing a motor in, 3 or 4 squares of Estes wadding, and go fly it. We got a bunch of C65 motors. That's what we'll plan on flying this thing on, but kind of neat for a simple little modern take on nostalgic Estes history right here. So I will say the fins are very flexible, like very much so. I was looking at a couple videos online of this thing flying, and the camera is showing a lot of spin. So I wonder if we can do anything about that. Maybe, I don't know if it needs as much fin area, but bring those down to create a little bit more of a stable airtight roll flight. So from here, we're going to charge up the camera, and maybe I'll show you a couple clips of what it looks like just kind of walking around with this. I'm not even sure on the specs on here. I'll talk about that here once we get it charged up. But we'll go fly it, show you the footage, and let you know my final thoughts.
Perfect. Perfect. We are good. At A1 and A2 drag race, go in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, ignition.
And there you have it. So flew it a few times on some C65s. It actually puts it up at a decent altitude, makes for a fun flight. The 18-inch parachute's a little snug in here, so be careful in packing that, I found. One of my flights didn't open up all the way, but I suspect they obviously put that bigger parachute in here just for the reason that you'll have a little bit more descent filming. I went full genius mode and had this camera lined up just in line with this shot cord mount, so don't do what I do and make sure this is oriented out of the way there. But outside of that, no, it's a fun little inexpensive build, and just as I suspected, lots of roll with these fins being so flexible, and actually this black fin has a decent amount of warp in it. I tried to heat it up just a bit to pull that warp out of it, but I was more concerned about doing further damage, so I didn't get it too hot. But outside of that, super fun. I hope you enjoyed it. Go out and get one of these, have some fun, shoot some video, and have a good rest of your day all. Thanks for watching. See you next time.